Joining us now is Mr. Joe Grimes. He's the CEO of a company called Tribal Rides Incorporated. XNDA is their stock symbol. Joe, great to talk to you again.
Don, thank you so much for having us on your show again.
Well, tell us again who you are.
News today.
Tell us again what the company's all about.
So Tribal Rides XNDA is a technology play in the transportation sector. We have patents associated with self-driving cars and some really new, interesting capabilities for shared ride cars. And so today we're going to talk about that first phase, and that is shared rides and capabilities associated with that.
Well, people are always mistaken about self-driving cars. They think it's 5 years away, 10 years away. It's really right now, isn't it?
At the moment, it seems to be everywhere. When I watch TV, I see Cadillac's new hands-free driving. Tesla obviously has been on the forefront of it. Chinese counterparts are bringing them out. It's really remarkable that and for a tragedy like COVID to occur, self-driving cars and those kinds of technologies are really coming to the forefront.
Well, it's kind of remarkable because you mentioned COVID, and that would be perfect right now because everybody's concerned about close contact, getting close to other people. With a self-driving car, you don't have that problem.
Not a problem whatsoever. And you can send it out to pick anybody up you need, right? It provides a tremendous amount of freedom and flexibility that current cars don't provide.
Now you have a special guest to introduce this week. I'll let you take the floor.
Thank you so much, Don. It is my pleasure to introduce our CTO, Steve Ritacco. Steve has been working with Tribal Rides for a couple of years as a consultant. And in May of 2020, he accepted the position of Chief Technology Officer and became part of the board. And we're very, very fortunate at Tribal Rides to have him leading the development process.
Well, Stephen, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Joe. I'm very happy to be here on MoneyTV.
Well, what can you tell us about the progress on the app so far?
Well, we're really getting rolling now, and we just issued a press release this week how we're starting an advisory group. We're interested in speaking with rideshare drivers, Uber or Lyft drivers, to get their feedback into our app because we are going to be providing services to them as a first step, even before the self-driving cars come along.
So you're basically looking to connect with what we refer to as disenfranchised Uber and Lyft drivers?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. We're trying to take our analytics for demand prediction and optimize their work so they can plan their schedules and earn more money.
So an Uber driver doesn't necessarily have to be threatened by self-driving cars, so to speak.
No, not necessarily, right? I think the whole business model around personal transportation is really going to be changing in the next 5 years.
Well, it's kind of remarkable because we've seen a lot of changes so far, and we're seeing things that are happening right before our very eyes. As Joe mentioned a moment ago, there's TV commercials showing semi-autonomous vehicles, autonomous vehicles. It really is the 21st century, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an exciting time in the space, definitely.
Now, you have an email that you want these Uber drivers, disenfranchised Uber and Lyft drivers to write to join an advisory group. What is that email?
Yes, please contact us at advisorygroup, just run together, at tribalrides.us.
Now, Steve, one question I always like to ask someone who's joined a company, what was it about the company that attracted you to join?
Oh, it's certainly the excitement in this space. There's no question about it that there's been such a transformation in the last 5 years because of Uber and Lyft and ride sharing that this next phase as personal transportation changes and our cars potentially become shared and cooperatively owned. It changes everything about the automobile in the United States and around the world.
Well, it's interesting because when I explain Tribal Rides to people, I say, think of owning a self-driving car. You get home from work and you send the car out to do revenue generation as an Uber car.
Right, exactly. It can be earning money for you while you're sitting on the sofa watching TV.
Tell us a little bit about your background, Steve.
I've been a software developer and a software engineer for about 30 years, and I've worked on all kinds of projects over the years. Some highlights were Hewlett-Packard, and where I spent about 3 years on one of their high-profile LaserJet products, and Excite.com in the heyday of the internet. And more recently, I've been working in the energy space.
Well, Joe, back to you. I know there's been some progress with the ticker and name change. What can you tell us?
Yeah, it's very exciting. So XNDA is our current ticker, and it doesn't really reflect what we're doing and how we're doing it in the market space. So last couple of weeks, we engaged a SEC attorney, and they're filing a name change and a ticker change. And spoke with them at length this morning. We hope to have the announcement next week. And we think that it's part of the roadmap to better unify our message and get a ticker that better reflects what we're doing. And we applied for RYDE. I hope it comes through. That, from my perspective, RIDE is a much better ticker than XNDA.
I'd have to agree with you. RIDE's a great ticker for the company. How about the audit? What's the progress with the audit?
Boy, it's making progress. It's extremely slow. Originally, when I was on your show a couple of months ago, we mentioned by the end of March, beginning of April, and we're still in line with that. We're moving forward, and it requires an enormous amount of time and effort from the CPAs and the auditors, and we're making significant progress. So right now, we're still in line with that date.
People who are not officers of public companies are unaware of how voluminous the paperwork can be in that regard.
Absolutely. And we have nothing to hide, and we want to share our financials with the public. We want to be fully reporting. And right now, our goal is still end of March, beginning of April, and we're very happy with it.
Once again, the company's Tribal Rides Incorporated, the current stock symbols XNDA. Gentlemen, great interview. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank
Don,
you.
appreciate your time.